Now we've got Obama where we want him. This may not seem like good times to you, but in my political mind, I think that we just really scored a tremendous strategic move. You know, when I worked for Bill Clinton, I was known for a strategy that I named triangulation, which essentially involved taking the most popular elements of the other side's position, giving it to them, and then leaving them to have to battle it out on your turf. So Clinton passed welfare reform and balanced the budget and did all that kind of stuff, and the only issues that were left were his turf, issues like education and environment and stuff. And in a real sense, the Republicans now have the opportunity to do their own act of political triangulation. I did not support the fiscal cliff deal that was agreed to a few days ago, and in yesterday's video I excoriated it. It does nothing but raise taxes, there are no spending cuts, it's horrific for the economy. But what it does do is it removes Obama's mask, his fig leaf. What he's been doing for his whole presidency is, as he merrily spent us into bankruptcy and racked up a huge deficit and rolled up an enormous increase in federal debt, whenever anyone criticized him on it, he said, oh yeah, well, I want to raise taxes on rich people and the Republicans don't. And if we only did that, it would solve all of our problems. And people bought into that. They were willfully blind to the math. As it turns out, the budget deal that raises taxes on rich people cuts government revenues by $3.6 trillion over the next 10 years. And you're not going to get the revenue from the tax increases either, because the economy is going to drop down further. But the point is, now Obama can't say that. The Republicans have given him this victory. So now the only issue remaining on the table is, shall we or shall we not increase government spending, increase government borrowing, and increase the federal debt? There are no fig leaves left anymore. There are no places for Obama to hide rhetorically. And the Republicans now have the opportunity to make the big cleavage against Obama spending increases. Now here's the math. While it is true that about half of the American people support raising taxes on rich people, and 70% say they oppose raising taxes when you don't explain that it's rich or poor, but over 80% favor big cuts in government spending. And you really have an opportunity now to hammer home that point. Now, what Obama's going to try to do, he's going to say, oh, they want to cut Social Security and Medicare. And the Republicans can't fall for that trap. They have to say not Medicare, Medicaid, not Social Security, food stamps, welfare, subsidized housing, government bureaucracy. Those are the cuts we want to make. The Department of Education, the Department of Transportation. Those are the places we want to cut. And Obama has no defense for that, because he can no longer say, well, raise taxes on rich people is an alternative. Now, Republicans have this tremendous weapon. If we'd had it, we probably would have won the election of 2012. But now we do have it. And we have the format to use it. The debt limit increase, because Obama needs that debt limit increase to be able to govern. And what we should do is we should say, okay, each quarter we'll let the debt increase rise by a little bit, so that if our revenues go up by $100 billion, you can borrow $50 billion more. But you got to put the other 50 into deficit reduction, so that while we permit government to grow slightly, we're not being draconian. We're ultimately going to reduce the federal deficit each quarter. And if he doesn't reduce the deficit, he doesn't get the debt limit increase. So it's really a way that we could work out of the deficit and hold Obama accountable for the increase in government spending. And politically, if he resists that, he has no place to stand. If the Republicans just simply say we're not going to increase the debt limit at all, he can come back and he can say, hey, I'll not send out Social Security checks. We won't pay the military. And they have him over the same box that Speaker Boehner caved on last summer before last. But if you do it in this phased way, you really can pull a march on Obama. Now, for the first time, there is a clear rhetorical fight over taxes and overspending, which Republicans can win. And oddly enough, it's a product of their defeat in the last fight. Thanks a lot for watching.